Hi everybody, happy Monday. So there's not class in person today, so I figured I would make a video and we can do class together online. We're going to be working on core and hips. So let's just get straight into it. We'll start out on our back. So just take your knees into your chest to rock from side to side, releasing any tension in your low back. Beginning to lengthen in your breath. And then go ahead and take your left leg long, pulling the right knee up towards the armpit, so we're bringing it a little bit outside of the center of the body. Take a couple of rolls in the ankle. Moving the knee side to side, whatever feels good. And then take your hand on the back of the leg and we'll straighten and bend the leg. So beginning to bring some movement into the hamstring. If it feels good, you can walk your hands up to the calf, pull your shoulders off the floor, pull the leg towards your face a little bit. And then go ahead and lower back down, bend the left knee. Your right leg's gonna cross over, making a figure four, hands on the back of the thigh. Pull both legs towards your chest. So if it feels okay, you can take your elbow and press it into your knee, pressing the knee a little bit further away, making the stretch a little more intense. And on your next inhale, we'll go ahead and release. We're going to take the right leg up, left leg long, hands by the side. And then we're just going to scissor them, so kicking one leg and the other. Hopefully you don't have furniture in your way. So if you need to stay up high with this, so that your low back stays on the ground, go with that. But if you can come all the way down with each leg, go for it. Try to keep the navel pulled back. Keep breathing. And then go ahead and bring the knees back into the chest. Release through the low back. And then we'll straighten the right leg. Left knee comes out towards the armpit this time. Making little movements, rolling in the ankle. And then hands coming on the back of the leg, straighten and bend. Warming up your hamstring. And just like on the other side, if it feels good, you can straighten the leg, walk the hands up to the calf, pull the upper body towards the leg. Remembering to breathe. And then slowly lower down, pull both knees into the chest this time. Hands down by the sides. What we're going to do for the core this time is we're going to pull the knees up towards the chest. Try to use your ab muscles and not your hands to press them up there. And then as you exhale, lower the toes down and tap. But try to keep your low back completely pressed down into the floor. So you're not using your back to make this movement, you're using your core. Navel pulled in, moving at your own pace. Exhaling as your knees come into your chest. If you're still going, let's do two more. On your last one, pull the knees in, give yourself a hug. And then slowly rock up and down along your spine, just a couple times. and we'll meet up at seated. So I'm going to turn towards you, but you can keep facing the long edge of your mat if you like it better. And we're going to come into cross leg if that feels okay. Hands on the knees, really long spine, so you're pulling up through the crown. And we're just going to make some big circles. So keeping the length in the spine might mean that you're coming back and your knees are picking up, but that's okay. Continuing to breathe. And then take the body in the opposite direction. Still keeping the spine long, reaching through the crown. Couple more rounds here. Hopefully you're feeling your hips get a little looser. And then come to center, across the ankles. I'll turn now so you can see. We're going to take cat-cow sitting. So inhaling as you reach forward with the chest. Exhaling, hold on to the knees. Pull the navel in, reach your upper back towards the wall behind you, or whatever's behind you. Inhale, reaching forward. Exhale, hold out. And then if it feels good, you can combine the two. So inhaling, reaching forward with the chest. Exhaling as you come back, making circles with the body. Cross the ankles the other way again if it feels okay, and then take that the opposite direction. Couple more circles here. And then make your way back to center. Take the knees up. So we're going to bring our feet together. We're going to start just leaning forward with the body and then coming back, lifting the feet. So not bringing it too crazy. Pull the navel in, try to keep the spine long. And then you can stay here, or you can make it a little bit bigger. So coming here, and then instead of leaning forward, we'll lean back. Inhaling to come up, exhaling back. Just coming as far as feels good, and you can keep your hands on the backs of your thighs, or even behind you, if that feels better. Make it a challenge, but don't bring it so that you can't do more than one, and that you can't keep your spine long. So 2 more. And then pull the knees in, cross the ankles, come to all fours. So wrists under shoulders, knees under wrists, inhaling, chest forward, belly drops. Exhale, press away. Inhale forward. Exhale, press away. Here's what we're going to do. I'll turn to face you. We're going to pick the knees up just a little bit. Right? So here, pick the knees up, pull the navel in, and then shift side to side. So you can pick one knee up, or you can pick both knees up. Center. Take the hips all the way back to the heels. Stretch really long with the spine. Take a child's pose. You can take your hands together, setting them to your upper back if that feels good. On your next exhale, come back to center. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog. So check out your downward facing dog. Make sure that you're pressing the hips back. Chest is reaching towards your legs. If your knees are bent, it's okay. We'll pedal one leg out and the other. And then walk your hands back to your feet. Take the feet wide. And sit down. So we're in this yogic squat and Malasana. And then we're going to shift side to side. So coming up onto the heel of one leg. Making this movement bigger, as small as feels good. If you're up high, this is good too. Okay? So if you can and it's comfortable to come to center, let's come there. Trying to keep the weight on your toes a little bit if you can. Hands pressing together, knees being pressed apart by your elbows. Take a long inhale and exhale. And then we'll release the hands, walk yourself back out to downward facing dog. We're going to take a deep inhale, send the right leg up behind. Try to keep your hips square so we're not opening. Square hips. On your exhale, we're going to take our knee towards our right tricep. So your shoulders are going to shift over your wrists. Crunch in. Inhale, come back. Exhale, knee to tricep. Inhale back. Exhale, knee to tricep. Inhale back. This time, step the foot through. Inhale, reach up, high lunge. So try to get your knee so it's over your ankle. Bend the back leg a little bit so the low back is long, and then you can start to straighten. Take a couple inhales and exhales here. Let your hips be heavy so that this left hip flexor is getting a really good stretch. Long inhale. On your exhale, take your hands down. We're going to step the back foot in halfway. Reach the chest forward and come into pyramid. So you can stay down here if that feels okay. Or you can come up higher if the stretch is too intense. Or if you can't get your legs straight. Hands can stay here. They can be here. Or you can take them into a reverse prayer on your back if that feels good. Take your gaze down to your foot so your neck is really long. Notice if you're pulling your right hip forward, try to pull it back in line with the left. And then on your exhale, let's go ahead and release the hands down. Step that back foot back. Step this foot back. Take a vinyasa if you'd like to. So remember, you can come to your knees or you can stay up high. Elbows pulled in, grazing the ribs. Lower all the way down for this first one. Press the toes down to the floor. Inhale, chest reaching forward. Exhale, hips back to the heels. Tuck the toes. Come to downward facing dog. So same thing, opposite leg. Inhale, left leg up this time. Try to keep the hips square. Exhale, bring the knee towards the tricep. Tucking it in. Shoulders over wrists. Inhale back. Exhale, knee to tricep. Inhale back. Exhale, knee to tricep. Inhale back. One more time. I think I did 4 on the other side. Shift it back, and this time we'll step the foot through. Come all the way up, high lunge. So again, bend the back knee a little bit if you need to before you straighten. Take a couple deep breaths here. Let this hip be really heavy. And then we'll take the hands down, step the back foot in halfway. Square the hips off to the front of the mat. And then you can stay here if that feels good, or come up a little higher so you can straighten both legs. Reach your chest forward. Gaze down at the foot. Pull your right hip forward so both hips are in line with each other. On your exhale, go ahead and take the hands down. Step the back foot back, and then step your left foot to meet it. Flow through your vinyasa. This time, maybe staying all the way up. Elbows rolling in, and then if up dog is in your practice, come here. You need to press away. Reach your chest forward, and then press through plank, then back to downward facing dog. Feet wide. Walk the hands back to the feet. Sit the hips down. So just like we did last time, moving those legs, shifting from the weight from one leg to another. And then settle in at center. Hands together, press the knees open, chest shining forward. On your next exhale, take the hands forward. Walk yourself back out to downward facing dog. Take a couple of inhales and exhales here. Try to bring your heels closer to the ground. Make sure you're not like this. We have our hips shooting back, spine really long, maybe even reaching the chest towards the legs. So if you have a chance, maybe take a photo of yourself in your downward facing dog and notice if you have your body really far forward. Or do it in front of a mirror. On our next inhale, we're going to look forward, step both feet. Come to a forward fold. So grab opposite elbows, knees bent if you need to, rock side to side. Either staying here if it feels good, you can grab the big toes with your first two fingers. Inhale the chest halfway up, long spine, and then maybe fold in a little bit further. Let your head be heavy. Knees bent a little bit if you need to. Trying to press your inner thighs back behind you. On your next inhale, slowly roll yourself up. Inhale, reach the arms. Exhale, take the hands down to the heart. So we're going to inhale up again. On the exhale, sweep the arms back, come into chair. So notice how I'm not pushing my butt out. I'm pulling my hip points up towards my ribs. Okay? Maybe sit a little lower. And then we're going to take the hands down to the heart, twist towards the right leg. Take a look at your knees. Notice if one is jutting out in front of the other. Try to bring them so that they're right next to each other. Reach long through the spine and try to pull your belly up off your legs. Maybe press a little lower. On the next inhale, come to center. We're going to twist towards the left. So same thing with the knees. Make sure one's not pushing out in front of the other. Pull your navel in, belly comes off the thighs. On your next inhale, we're going to come back to center. We're going to come to standing, and our right knee is going to come up with us. And then take it to either the inside of your thigh, inside of your calf. I'll turn to you. Or you can even bring it onto the inside of your ankle. Okay, so tree somewhere that feels comfortable. Try to press your foot and your leg together. Reach really tall through the crown. And then take the arms up above the head. So if this feels okay, we're going to try to make it a challenge by taking our right hand down to our knee and then leaning over. Pull your navel in. Inhale up to center, and then releasing this foot, keeping it up in the air if you can. Cross it over. Woo. Sit into this. So figure 4 stretch here. Reach your chest towards your leg. Bend in your left leg. And then you can take your hands here, or you can even take one to the knee and try to press it out a little further, just like we did while we were laying down earlier. So I'm going to slowly take myself back so we can be facing the same way. We're going to take an inhale. Try to keep your leg up. Come back to that standing balance. And then step your foot really far back. Bring yourself to a wide squat. So if you can, take your legs so they're at a 90-degree angle from the floor. Hands are going to come behind the head. And then we're going to dip one side and the other. Navel pulled in. Hips tucked under you. Make this a challenge. Last one each side. And then straighten your legs, point your toes forward. Maybe even in a little bit. Lean your body. Coming to a forward fold. So if your knees to be bent a little bit, that's cool. If you need to have your hands on your legs, that's cool too. But try to get your spine really long. So you're not hunched over like this. You're reaching your chest as you lean forward. Make sure you're taking your weight a little bit into your toes. On your next inhale, come halfway up. Turn your toes to the outer corners. Come back up to that squat. And we're going to do some more of these crunch things. So tapping one side and the other. Try to really feel this in your obliques. If it's easy, tuck your hips under you further. Two more each way. Whew. Come back up. We're going to turn to the back end of our mat now. So right toes go forward. We're going to take our left knee, pull it up. Okay, coming to tree on this side. So I'll turn towards you. Foot here, here, or all the way up. Inhale, lift the arms. And if you feel really steady here, even if you have your toe touching the floor, we're going to take the left hand down and lean over with the upper body. Navel fold in. On your next inhale, come back up to center. If you can, without touching your foot on the ground, just release it and cross it across your right leg. Hopefully you don't lose your balance. And begin to sit down through that standing leg. So again, hand can be here, pressing the knee down. Maybe this side feels more intense than the other side felt. Try to keep your left foot so that your toes are pulling back towards your towards your shin, so that the knee is super safe. On your next inhale, start to make your way up. This foot stays in the air. Step back, turn to the long edge of the mat, sit down into that squat. So this time we're not gonna crunch. We're gonna take our hands to center. And we're gonna lift our right heel. Maybe coming a little lower. Put that foot back down, lift the other one. Heel down, lift the right heel again. Maybe lowering down on the hips. Heel down, lift the other side. Hopefully you're starting to sweat a little if you weren't already. Bring that heel down, lift both. Take the hands down, straighten the legs. And we're gonna come down to our knees. So take your ankle so that it's at a 90-degree angle from your knee, and then pull your toes up towards your shin. And we're just gonna gently begin to walk our knees out from at a 90-degree angle from our hips. So you might not be able to get down very far, it's okay. Come down to your elbows if it feels good, and press yourself back so your hips are pressing back behind you. And then try to relax into this. It can be pretty intense. If it feels okay and you're feeling really warm, you can lower your chest down towards the floor. Maybe put your face down. Try to allow your hips to relax. We tend to hold them open here. On your next inhale, we're going to slowly make our way up. Take your feet together, pull the knees together. Turn yourself back to the front of your mat, hips back, take a child's pose. So maybe take your knees together since they were just so far apart, and then we're going to just wave through the hips a little bit. On our next inhale, if you're down in child's pose, walk your hands out. Tuck your toes under, come to downward facing dog. We're going to inhale, right leg up. And just like we did before, crunch it towards the right tricep. Inhale up. Crunch it in. Inhale up. Crunch in. Last time, crunch in, maybe holding this one. Come back up, Step the foot through, drop the back knee this time. So we'll turn towards an angle so you can see. So we have our hands on the inside of the foot. We're gonna walk our toes out so they're at an angle, the corner, and then pick the bottom of the foot up off the floor. So if this feels good, move around a little. You can take the hand and press the knee out a little bit further. You can come down to your forearms if that feels good. On your next inhale, if you're not on your forearms, that's okay, stay up here. If you're on your forearms, stay on them. And we're gonna just pick up the left knee and we're gonna step or walk the right foot back, holding a forearm plank. So just like in regular plank, try to tuck your hips up towards your ribs. You can drop down to your knees if you need to. And then we're just gonna pike the hips up. Head comes behind or between the arms and then come back down. 2, 3, 4. Come back to center, take the hands down. Walk them. So you're in full plank, take a vinyasa. Meet me in downward facing dog. And then the left leg's gonna sweep up this time. On your exhale, take the knee to the left tricep. Inhale up. Exhale, tuck. Third one. Tuck. Last time. Tuck and hold. Send it up, and then take your foot up towards the top of the mat. Right knee will come down. Hands on the inside of the leg, and then just like before, walk the toes out to an angle, let the knee drop open. Make some small movements. Maybe it feels good to take a hand on the knee. And if it feels good, you can come down onto your forearms. If you're on your forearms though, make sure your back is still long so you're not hunched. You're able to reach your chest forward. And then just like before, if you're on your forearms, stay there. If you're not on your forearms, that's okay. We'll step or walk our front foot back. And if you're not on your forearms, make your way down so we're in forearm plank. And we'll do the same thing as we did before. Pike the body up, head between the ears, and lower down. And 2, 3, 4, center, place the hands down, make your way up, elbows in, lower through your vinyasa, come back to downward facing, feet wide, walk the hands back, drop the hips down. Hopefully this yogi squat feels so much better than the first one. You can move around a little bit if you like, or if it feels good, you can take your hand down, kind of wrap it, reach up or behind. Taking a bind, and then release. So this hand will come back, you can come up, or if it feels okay, come behind. Try to keep the hips heavy down, and then release when you're ready. Hopefully not falling back like I am. And then once it feels good, Go ahead and release. We'll come down to seated. So we're almost there. Feet are going to come wide. Okay? So toes and knees are pointing up. And just like we started with when we were seated, we're going to take some circles here. Try to keep the spine long. And then the opposite way. And then come to center and let's just reach our chest forward. So if you're really high up here, that's fine. You can take your hands behind, press yourself forward a little bit if that feels good. If you're laying down on the floor, good for you. That feels good too. Just make it so that you feel stretch. And keep the legs active so we're not being lazy in the legs. Press them down towards the floor. Not rounding in the back. If it feels good, coming halfway up, we'll walk the right hand over. Take the elbow onto the inside of the knee if you can, and then lift the left arm up. If you find yourself turning towards the floor, take the hand to low back. If you can keep the chest reaching, do that. Inhale, come back to center. We'll lean forward. Bring the left arm onto the inside of the left leg if you can. Reach up. Or bring your hand to your low back. Make it feel good, but we want to keep it safe. So our chest is reaching up and not down towards the floor. If you can grab your foot, maybe do that. Inhale your way back up to center. Take the hands underneath the knees. Take the feet together. Oof. You can lean forward if that feels good. Maybe take the hands behind, pressing the knees towards the floor. Take a couple of breaths here. And then hands come onto the outsides of the knees. Bring the knees together. Make your way back down onto your back. So one last core thing before we take a short Shavasana. So if you've been to my class, we've done this before. You're going to take your hands on the back of your head. Feet are flat on the ground. Try to keep the chest reaching forward. So we're not rounding up like this. We're reaching the chest up. And then we're going to lift the feet. Squeeze the legs together. And then exhale, lower back down. So exhale up, legs squeezing. Inhale as you lower. Remembering to squeeze the legs. So let's do 3 more. 2 more. Last one. Lower all the way down to your back. Take the knees into the chest. Rock from side to side. So if it feels good, take both knees out wide, pulling both towards the armpits. And then you can grab for the feet if you like Happy Baby. Send the soles of the feet towards the ceiling, knees coming towards the armpits. Keep your low back pressing down onto the floor, and keep your head and shoulders on the floor. So we're not coming up like this, we're not coming up like this. Relaxing the whole spine on the ground, maybe rocking side to side. Really slowing the breath here. If you have your feet, go ahead and release them, knees into the chest. Take the arms out to a T. Allow the knees to drop over towards the left. Looking over the right shoulder. If it feels good, try to keep it planted on the ground. Releasing any tension you have pulling in on your belly. On your next inhale, slowly come to center, and then let your knees drop towards the right. Left shoulder planting down, looking over the left shoulder if it's okay on your neck. On your next inhale, come back to center, knees into the chest. Pull yourself up into a tiny ball. Engage as many muscles as you can. Face and feet and hands. Deep inhale. Exhale, slowly release yourself down. If it feels good, take your soles of the feet together. Let your knees drop out. Hands come to face up. If you don't like having your feet together, you can just extend your legs out long. We'll take 3 deep inhales, breathing in through the nose. Exhaling out through the mouth. After your third exhale, allow your breath to return to its natural state. Try to stay here for at least 5 minutes to allow your body to absorb the benefits of your practice. You can stay as long as you like. I want to say thank you for joining me today. The music I had playing is a band called Brothers Gow. If you were digging their jams. And if you liked this class and you want to see more, just go ahead and let me know. If there's any requests that you have, let me know with that either. And if you come to my physical class, I will see you hopefully Thursday. I hope you all have a good week. Namaste.